Hello everyone. So far I am discussing about the physical property of a minerals. In the physical property of the minerals, I have explained so far the habit or form, color, streak, luster and diaphragm. These are the physical properties which I have been explained so far. Okay. In this class, I am going to explain further physical properties, that is fracture, cleavage, hardness and specific gravity. So, let us first I'll take fracture. What do you mean by fracture? Say for example, if you consider this is a mineral, the cracks would be shows in the surface. How it shows? It may shows randomly. So in that case, I used to call that is uneven fracture. In the surface of the mineral, in the surface, the cracks would be shown. That is, if it is shown randomly, that is, I call it as uneven fracture. Say for example, if the mineral structure would be like this, and if the cracks would be developed in a curved pattern, whether it is concave shape or whether it is convex shape, then it is called as conchoidal fracture. It is called as conchoidal fracture. Say in fact, if the mineral would be shows whether in the form of straight line or if it is shows somewhat like diagonal, the fracture is called as even. See whether it is horizontal or whether it is diagonal, whether it might be vertical, then it is called as even. So what we understand is, I am talking about the physical property of a mineral. In the physical property, I am telling about the fractures. Outside the mineral, if I am going to see the cracks which is being developed, cracks means whether that is in the form of uneven or that is in the form of conchoidal or that is in the form of even. And one more thing I like to tell you, these cracks would be developed by the forces. How the forces? Whether, say for example, if the mineral would be like this, that is in the beneath the surface. Beneath the surface, there might be the convergent forces act together to make this surface something like to develop the cracks. That might be the conchoidal, or sometimes it might be even, or sometimes it might be uneven. I am not only talking about the convergent. Say for example, if the mineral would be like this and there would be a divergent forces acting each other, automatically what happens? The mineral have the elastic limit, it could be able to elaborate. That is also one of the cause to form the fracture. See, if a mineral substance subject to have a force, whether it is a convergent or whether it is a divergent or whether it is a transform, then we are able to tend whether it is a even fracture or uneven fracture or conchoidal fractures. So the fractures are tend to develop with respect to the forces acting, whether it is convergent, divergent or transform. Now let us go to cleavage. What do you mean by cleavage? See, cleavage and fractures are interdependent. Cleavage is nothing but if you just assume it is a mineral. Okay. If I take a mineral and if I hammer it, means it should be cut into a pieces. If it is cut into a pieces, say for example, I will write one structure. See, this is a structure. If I am going to hammer this, it will be broken into a small piece showing the same faces, showing the same structures. So that case, the cleavage is present. Say for example, if it is a duster. If I am able to break this, it has to show the same shape, then we expect the cleavage is present. If I am going to see, earlier itself I told the minerals tend to be whether it is a ionic bonding or whether it is a covalent bonding. If I am going to break the minerals, if the mineral tends to break in a perfect shape, then it is called the cleavage is present. If the mineral doesn't break in a even shape or it should be break in a different shape, then the cleavage is absent. So in this form, whether the cleavage is present or whether the cleavage is absent. So what is the difference between cleavage and fracture? The cleavage is nothing but the tendency to break the bonds, whether it is the bonds is breaking in even factor or uneven factor, whether it is coming in the same shape or whether it is in a different shape. Fracture, what is the difference between fracture? Fracture is nothing but the forces which is been applying to the minerals. It may shows the different types of fractures, whether it is a even, uneven or conchoidal shape. How the fractures has been developed? The fractures has been developed by the convergent plate boundaries or the divergent plate boundaries or the transform thing. That is the forces which has been applying in the beneath the surface. Next, let us see what do you mean by the hardness. See, hardness is nothing but it has been mainly discussed by Mohs. Mohs is a scientist. He discovered the hardness. See, we all know that the mineral name called steatite. The famous monument is Gomteshwara. The Gomteshwara is standing from past decades, or it might be standing from so many years. What is that mineral which has been made up of? It is a steatite. That mineral completely carved to show the shape of that Gomateshwara statue. So here what the thing is, the mineral can be carved, the mineral can be scratched, mineral can be bring to different types of shapes. That has been discussed by the hardness. So the lowest substance is talc. The hardness number is 1. Okay, I will write like this. Hardness number of talc is 1. Second hardness number which is of, that is gypsum. Third one is calcite. Fourth one is fluoride. Fifth one is apatite. Sixth one is feldspar. Seventh one is quartz. Eighth one is topaz. Ninth one is corundum. These are all the minerals name what I am writing. And 10th one is diamond. What do you mean by this? See, talc, gypsum and calcite, this hardness stands from 1 to 2.5 or if any minerals I am holding in a hand, I can easily scratch by the fingernail. How it can be scratched? It can be scratched by fingernail. So that is the lower hardness which is this varieties. If I come to fluorite or apatite, it can be scratched by copper penny. Copper penny in the sense, or even you can also able to scratch this by coins. See, if you go to some Belur or Nalebilo, if any structures which is being carved there, you can easily scratch it by using these coins or by the finger. So the hardness is very lower. And if the feldspar, if you take a knife, you can able to scratch this feldspar with difficulty. This hardness number is 6 to 6.5. 6 to 6.5. Let us come to quartz, topaz, corundum and diamond. This cannot be scratched in any of the objects. It cannot be scratched. The hardness is very high. The quartz is being made by the glass. The topaz, it is a semi-precious stone. Corundum, that is a semi-precious stone. Diamond, it is a precious stone. Why it is called as a precious or semi-precious stone means that because due to the hardness, it cannot be scratched in any of the objects. So these are all the things cannot be scratched. Cannot be scratched. So cannot be scratched in any of the objects. So what hardness tells? See, hardness is very important in the physical property. We can able to determine the hardness of the minerals, whether it can be scratched or it cannot be scratched. So the quartz, it is also used in the electronics industries. It is also used in the quartz, that is in the glass industries. Why? Because due to which it cannot be scratched. Why it is being called topaz, corundum and diamond? Because it is a precious stones. It cannot be scratched. So it can able to resist all type of weather. Okay. Next, I am going to explain the specific gravity. Final part is, next I am going to explain specific gravity of a mineral. What do you mean by specific gravity? See, we all know that the specific gravity of water is 1. If I am going to put a mineral into the water, if I am going to keep a vessel, or if I am going to keep a bucket of water, if I pour a mineral, what happens? It may able to sink. Why it may able to sink? Because the specific gravity of the minerals is higher than the water. Say for example, if the specific gravity, if I consider this is SiO4. Okay, this is SiO4 tetrahedra. It is been multiply bonding to some other SiO4. This individual SiO4 is 2.7. And if I am going to consider SiO4, that is n number of 2.7. If I am able to break a bond, say for example, if I am holding the quartz, if I am going to break, whether it is in this type of mass or whether it is in this type of mass. If you put both towards to the buckets of water, both will sink. The thing is, which is having n number of SiO4 and it is having 2 or 3 number of SiO4. So the specific gravity of a mineral which is being compared with the water, if it is sinks, the specific gravity of the minerals would be higher. If I consider the specific gravity of SiO2 is 2.7. What do you mean by 2.7? That is individual SiO2 specific gravity is 2.7. So in this class, what I explained is the fractures and cleavage. Hardness is nothing but the surface, how it is going to withstand with respect to the resistance, whether it can be scratched or it cannot be scratched, and finally specific gravity. The specific gravity, why it has been important with respect to specific gravity? See, there are precious stones, semi-precious stones. What we are going to do, say for example, it can be prepared artificially. If I am having the emerald is a semi-precious stone. I can able to prepare this emerald. This is in green color. We all know that it is in green color. It can be prepared in a laboratory. But It cannot be come to the natural thing. If I am able to test whether it is a natural or whether it is a synthetic, I have to use the liquid called bromoform. Bromoform is a liquid. This is a simple test where the jewelry industry is used to do. If the natural emerald put into the bromoform, it will sink. If I am going to put the synthetic emerald, then it will be floats. This is how the physical property of specific gravity for a mineral helps. Thank you.